Okay, so I was curious. I went out and looked for data around sales and marketing for and during the COVID-19 pandemic since the quarantine. Actually, this data is from March, doesn't include April. When I get that, I'll report on that as well. So one of the companies I liked, what they put out so far is Hubspot, because they went and looked at 70,000 of their customers. And this is, again, all during March, primarily B2B is what I'm gathering from looking at the data. And it's interesting. They only focused in on the companies that have an online presence and use inbound as part of their growth strategy. So I want to give you some of the stats that they were able to come up with. So it gives you a little peace of mind in some cases and maybe a little worry in others, but I'll try to explain them and at least give you my interpretation of them. So the average weekly deals created decreased globally by 17% mid-March, and towards the end of March, 23% by the end of March. Now, only 2 data points, but it looks like global deals are decreasing, and that would make sense as more and more countries and people start to shut down or at least put things on pause. On a per-week basis, HubSpot says, companies sent 23% more sales emails. Well, yeah, if business is going down, you want to see, as a salesperson, who's actually still in the game to purchase something or not. So I suspect that's the reason why, primarily. The response rate to those emails, according to HubSpot, began falling the first week of March with a total decrease of 27% in March compared to February. Yes, because companies are unsure about what they're going to do, so they probably don't know how to respond to some of these salespeople that are going out. Again, makes sense. The average marketing email volume increased 29% mid-March, and open rates increased 53% the same week. And across the month, open rate increased by 21% overall. Does that make sense to you? Well, yeah, because most of the companies that were sending out emails were providing updates, right? You've got all those COVID emails, probably the same ones I did. And I suspect most companies were opening them up to see what was going on with that particular vendor or somebody trying to sell to them. It makes perfect sense, and it makes sense that the responses were very low because what are you going to do? You're not going to respond to that letter unless there was a specific call to action. If you were like me, you got hundreds of those things, so you didn't want to spend the time to do that. So given that data, and granted, it's not a lot of data, but it's indicative of what's happening and what we all thought. 2 things stand out for me. First, well, businesses down, these deals that are being created are down, and this is a large sample size, 70,000 companies. It's not down as much as I thought. 20%, 25% isn't as much as I thought it was going to be. I thought it'd be more like 50. And the other side is, well, companies are reading what you're putting out there. They might not be responding to it, but at least they're reading it. So it probably does make sense to provide them educational updates as to what's happening and what they could be doing. So 3 things you should do. And I've said this in previous videos. First of all, reach out to the industries that are doing well. Those are your home. Anybody that delivers things to the home is, you should shift most of your sales team to those types of companies or essential businesses. So think about who's actually thriving in this economy and shift your focus to them. Also, you could retool your offerings. And I've had other videos about that. Create products or services or repackage things that appeal to those people that are buying today or appeals to your target customer that could potentially buy that solution versus what they were going to buy a couple of months ago. And third, totally change your prospecting right now to the essential businesses and the businesses that are thriving in this economy. It probably doesn't make a lot of sense unless you have a deal that's pending to go after businesses that are either in the process of shutting down or putting things on pause. I wouldn't have your salespeople waste time on that. So what are your thoughts on that? This is my read from the data. I'll continue to look at the data for you and provide my insights.